But that's not what I want to start with.
Let's see, 601. So
Bring it back.
Hold on.
Chop,
Everybody.
chop.
We here though. So,
I want to welcome all y'all.
welcome to the show.
Alright, here we go. Alright, silent.
Is that the tweet?
That's trimmed it deep to left center field. Gardner is going back. Astros head back to the World Series. Jose Altuve, a walk-off two-run homer, and the Astros beat the Yankees 6-4. Win the ALCS. 4-2. Altuve bombed at home plate. They never said it would be easy, and it certainly wasn't. DJ LeMahieu tied the game with a two-run home run in the top of the ninth. Altuve with the answer in the bottom half. And the Astros are 2019 American League champions.
Jose Altuve.
Yes, sir.
It's Sunday night, so you know what that means.
Yeah.
Tell them I'm here, son.
Welcome to the Garage Apartment. Sports and entertainment with your favorite partners. I am the Funky Militant, Darren Jones. And as always, I got the tribe with me.
Yeah.
So let the listeners know who you are. What long is like two days now?
Get back better than ever.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. We are here each and every Sunday night from 6 to 7 Central Standard Time.
Each and every Sunday night.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Through rain, sleet, or snow.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We go out of town.
And check out our website, thegarageapt.com. We got some great stuff on there. We got articles, we got videos, we got interviews, we have previous shows.
Yeah.
So be sure to check that out.
We're gonna have more videos.
Absolutely. Coming very soon. You can also hit us up live at 713-489-0688. We welcome your feedback, your questions, your comments, your concerns.
Yeah.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. So, shout out to everybody checking us out on 92KLZ. Shout out to LZ.com. Shout out to everybody who's watching us live on Facebook.
Yeah,
Watching us on that YouTube.
Yeah, watch us on YouTube.
Watch it. Oh, there you go. Check us out, everybody.
Apartment Media.
There you go.
Go there.
Go there.
Check us out.
Absolutely.
That's again YouTube, the Garage Apartment Media.
Yeah, so fellas, how was y'all week, man?
It was great. L2 hit all run.
I think you
Jose!
We back in the World Series, yo.
And not only did he hit a home run, and now Cole is ready for game.
It's cold world. You know, I thought he was gonna do that, and cold world.
Cole
Yeah,
versus
I hate-
Strasburg, is that what we're gonna see? That would be a
Yeah, I should have gone and done a prop bet because I figured he was gonna walk off, and I'm kicking myself about that.
Well, if you knew that, then yeah, you should have, and you
I
probably
really
should
should
do
have.
it again tonight or on any
Tuesday.
sport event. No, I'm just saying in general, because if you knew he was gonna walk off, then
I know. I've done it before and made a lot of money.
And if you knew he was gonna walk off, you should have played it.
did you know DJ was gonna tie that game? Because I did
No,
not.
I just
and
had a
I'm
good
not
hunch.
happy about it still.
Poor all these chow
Is it really pull right? You're throwing too hard, bro.
Did
Cut
you
down a
see?
little bit.
He looking like these son of a bitch. Look.
Yeah, he wanted to cry.
Look,
He wouldn't
He
cry
started
in the car.
laughing.
I can just smile.
He wouldn't cry in the car.
He
He's a little son of a bitch. He that home run.
Those don't know who the Astros won.
I too much did get up there and say, I just want to thank God for the opportunity to go to the World Series
Gone
again.
to the World Series, played against the Washington Nationals.
We probably gonna get talked about for
Post Bryce Harper,
I
Washington
think that's a very
Nationals.
good impression.
to the State Fair Showdown at the Cotton Bowl between the Southern University Jaguars and the Texas Southern University Tigers, which was actually a very good game.
Who won the cook-off?
I have no idea.
TSU or Southern?
I know one thing: Southern's band embarrassed my school's band. Oh my goodness! It
There ain't that many of the people in the
Whoa! No! Teach you got numbers. That ain't the problem. They got outplayed. The band sounded amazing. Southern band.
They always do though.
Exactly.
That's why they on TV at
You're right.
Bayou Classic.
Yes, indeed. That's why. Yeah. So we lost the band battle and the game.
And the war.
Yeah, we left.
There's a video. Okay, you know what? There's a. Don't worry about it. It's about Southern's band. And, I don't know.
And Pastor Wilson.
This boy is crazy.
It does involve the dances though, but I'll show y'all later. But I've been watching the video for 10 years.
Okay.
What's up, everybody on Facebook Live?
Anyway, so yes, man, the Astros have clinched their spot in the World Series.
The human jukebox.
They won in 6 games. They won with a walk-off home run from
Jose Altuve.
Jose Altuve.
It's a short man season right now.
They won 6-4. And again, the World Series starts Tuesday night. Game 1 is Tuesday night at 7:08.
Tuesday night,
So what are the
getting in
prospects?
8.
What are the prospects meaning?
We're gonna win in
The
6.
World Series. What do y'all think?
Astros in 6.
And why? Break it down for our black listeners who know nothing about what we're talking about.
First off,
Because
you
we
must
have-
stop disrespecting black listeners as if they don't watch
The
baseball.
first 2 games are here in Houston. The Astros are the
So you said they're defending home field?
Yeah, it's a 2-3-2.
The Astros, yeah, it's crazy system. The Astros have the best record at home than anybody else, and I want to say they made it historic, have the best record at home that the Astros have ever had. Won 60 of their 80-something games.
Oh, by far.
So the first 2 at home, we have
61.
Cole going number
81.
1. Probably not Verlandisi. Probably gonna have to go with
No, Verlander's doing
Verlander doing game 2?
Yeah, he was going to do a game.
is that break between 1 and 2?
That's right now. That's regular game rest.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
That's the fifth
It's
day.
better than.
That's
So
the fifth
then-
day.
That's regular day rest.
So then Cole, Verlander, Greinke come after that,
Mm-hmm.
and Greinke's gonna have to go.
I think
to
they're
the
gonna
Nationals.
lose the Verlander game. I hope they
That's
don't.
because we've lost all the other Verlander games.
But I just realized Verlander gets extremely geeked. And he loses it in the beginning.
He has
One day,
And then he calms down, and then he shuts everything down. But the Astros are down now.
He tries to challenge them. Like
Yeah,
early.
see,
He comes
he doesn't throw the ball down in the.
straight down the middle.
That curveball in the first couple of innings needs to be in the dirt. Just throw it in the dirt. You know?
Yes, that's his whole thing.
No, that's not. I don't want him to look like
Nolan Ryan?
Keiko either, though. Because
No,
Keiko can't get the ball up sometimes. He stayed in the dirt, stayed in the dirt.
I'm just saying, if it's 0-2, bro, don't touch the strike zone. If it's 1-1, if it's 2-1, whatever, I understand. If it's 0-2, do not touch the strike zone.
because he really gives up to those two strike.
It'd be 0-2, it'd be 1-2, and those are the home runs that he gives because he's trying to sneak a fastball in when you think he's gonna throw the breaking ball, and then bam, short left porch, man.
Hey, did you see the Lemieux? This and that? Not
But the
Lemieux.
man
What's
is-
his name?
DJ something. I know the man
Did
had.
you see that at bat?
The man was killing it the whole
I
series.
never heard of him because he played in Colorado, and I do not follow the Rockies. But I really do watch baseball.
He
But
won
I
that
do not
first game
follow.
in New York.
I do not follow the Rockies at all. So I didn't know who he was. I have become a fan. Because
Of the French Canadian.
no, because the dude can hit, man.
Man's name is DJ. What's your name, man?
He really
Is it DJ? I doubt
It's
it.
Dante Jean.
Is it Dante? Are you one of those few Dantes out there that we got?
Dante Jean. Demir.
he can hit, man.
He hits too well, but guess what he's doing now?
You can't even put the shift on him.
Now he's fishing, my friend.
Actually, he was 0 for
Start that boat.
He was 0 for 4 until that hit.
Yeah, but that one was.
Now he had been killing us. He was on for that game, but he had been killing us the whole series. Like that dude, we could not get out. Like
Hey,
couldn't do it.
embarrassingly enough, it's just David John.
David John.
I was close.
What are you expecting?
You're nowhere close.
Why does he go by David? Why
Dante.
DJ?
David John Lemieux.
Why does he prefer to be DJ
Because
Lemay?
he's in New York.
When you become prestigious, they change your name. That's what they do.
But David John is more prestigious.
Vincent
I'm
Young
David
became
John.
Vince Young.
Somebody said
Vince Young
no.
was there like
James
six
Kelly.
And why would
James
you call
Kelly.
him French Canadian? This dude is from Visalia, California.
He's French Canadian, but he's from French Canadian. That's what they say. That's what they
He went to
say.
LSU.
James Kelly became Jim Kelly. Who else?
Joe Theismann became Joe Theismann
There you go.
in order to win the Heisman.
There you go.
Hakeem.
Oh my
Dorsett.
goodness. Did you
Tony
see-
Dorsett became Tony
Oh,
Dorsett.
get in there, his own.
Bridgewater is going to be MVP.
No, stop saying stupid
Stop.
stuff.
Look at this throw.
Team is
Not
over.
even. I'm sorry.
Team is over.
Not even Drew Brees can do this throw.
When Drew
Now you see the- now you
Then
see
you
the-
start talking.
I love you so much because you're my
Jones
brother.
is better,
You are my eldest
No,
brother.
y'all don't understand.
You're my oldest
No,
brother.
y'all
my
didn't
only
see this
brother.
throw.
I saw the throw. It was a great throw.
No, you saw the end of the throw.
No, I saw the throw. It was a
That
nice throw.
Space Jam
Don't
song?
get me wrong. It was a fantastic throw.
Look at this throw.
On the run.
Whoa, how do you
Look,
do
they
that?
should have flicked the wrist.
He
Look
did.
at the flick of the wrist.
No, but did you see the arm rotation?
What I'm saying is that as soon as Drew Brees says he's ready, Teddy Bridgewater back on that pine pony.
And as soon as Drew Brees loses that game,
He's still gonna be on that pine pony,
they're going to be
bro.
like, Drew, you
It's
hurt.
Drew Brees.
They're going to be like, Drew, you hurt.
No. You better hope he gets concussed, get a hard hit to the head.
Oh, they finally changed Hill's number?
No, that's a different heel.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the tight end here. Taysom is still quarterback testing.
No, he caught a touchdown today.
Taysom?
Yep.
You got him on your fantasy?
No.
Latavius Murray better not score. I have cut him.
He's already scored.
Look. There you go.
You got to be
He's already
kidding me.
scored, bro.
The week I cut him, he goes for 22, 109 and a
Well,
touchdown.
the question is, who did you pick up? Because if you picked up somebody who went on,
Well,
then it's no problem.
They didn't tell me before.
He probably picked up
Adrian
Kiki
Peterson.
Kuti or
No, I picked up
something.
Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson had a spectacular game. He didn't have this kind of game, though.
What did he do today? I got Adrian Peterson.
He had like
Yeah, that ain't
89 yards,
spectacular.
20 rushes, 89 yards.
Did he score a touchdown?
Nobody scored a touchdown for that squad.
So it was a freaking monsoon going on out there. I didn't know that. Because I started Garoppolo in the food.
He threw a pick.
So, but threw up to 150 yards, you know what I'm saying? But threw a pick as well, you know what I'm saying? Score was 9-0.
Chargers are trash.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be starting Phillip Rivers for a couple of weeks in my other league.
Why? He is
Phillip
terrible.
put some
Because
buckets.
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh,
got hurt.
Patrick Mahomes. We're gonna speak about
Since we're talking about fake French Canadian.
We can
man.
segue into Mr. Mahomes.
Oh God.
That's tragic, bro.
No, we can't
Is it
say
trash?
that.
It's tragic,
We
bro.
can't say
They weren't
that.
doing so well this year though.
But he was literally
Uh-oh.
the highlight of the NFL. He
Nah.
was at the top. He was at the peak. He was what was becoming the prototype for a quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And if he comes back and cannot continue to play at that level, that would be tragic.
What you mean if he come back and cannot play?
I mean, if
It's
he's
just
hurt.
You mean, thank you, this season or what?
I mean, I know this sounds
It's
serious,
okay,
but as far as
okay.
football
Let me ask you a thing.
Listen, no. In all
It happens
seriousness,
all the time.
if you want anything to ever happen in an injury, you want it to be dislocated.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be broken. You don't want anything
Or a
torn.
sprain.
Yeah, you don't exactly. You
You
want a
want a
dislocation
dislocation
over
or
a
a
sprain.
I understand. All I'm
Like
saying
dislocated
is,
wrist.
I'd rather not have nothing dislocated.
Because
than to have
Second
something
touchdown for
dislocated.
Latavius.
This is not.
My mama ghetto Murray. I'ma name him Latavius.
The Tigers.
And then oh god. like you said, it sounds very serious. And all right, once it's popped back in place, it's just extremely sore. It's just extremely
pop it back in place.
It's just extremely sore.
Hey,
I had to go in there and put it back in place.
I seen a rugby player hit his back in place, and then the rest of the game.
I played football with a
That's a whole
dude
different animal there.
No, I like.
that.
You could look up the video. He like it gets dislocated, and he's on the ground like.
Like he trying to warm up the car.
He's like, that bad boy gets in there. He's like, yeah,
Right, just to show you how tough football is, I played football with a dude who used to have to put his kneecap in place. And he was a kicker and punter.
Oh my God.
Okay? It would pop out.
The game is
He
not
would
that
move
important.
it around.
The game is not that important.
He's got
back on the
great
Astros though.
stories. He's got great stories.
Back to the Astros.
Of his knee popping out of kick.
Everybody seen
on
these-
the kickoff
these
return
memes?
against Madison. Tell his kids that.
These memes about New York fans, they're hilarious.
No, I haven't.
Oh man.
I can imagine because I know they got their hopes up after they won that game in New York.
I don't know why they did
They got
that.
their hopes up after that home run.
Well, that's understandable.
Well, no, yeah, after that, in the bottom of the top of the ninth, the tie the game, I'm gonna get my hopes up too. And I'm gonna be kicking whoever I can kick when Chapman gives up that dang home run in the bottom. But I'm an Astros fan, so whoop de
But see,
boom, World Series, here we go.
But that goes to the arrogance of these pitchers nowadays. Because he did have Marisnik on deck. He could have easily walked to Altuve and got to
But
Marisnik.
no, the intentional walk wouldn't come from the pitcher.
And when
Yeah,
the
the manager
he
got that.
didn't have the intentional walk.
The pitcher pitch.
But everybody knows that American League managers just kind of sit there until they got to make a pitching change. You don't have to
He
do
had-
anything. You're
he
doing
had-
it.
If I throw 100
It don't matter where I put that man.
hour,
Put it in the strike zone.
I'm throwing the ball.
No, but that's an interesting point though. Against a guy who can hit, who hits it hard,
But
and
no,
it's
that's-
going to be high wherever you pitch it.
But I have the
Wherever
advantage,
you
no
pitch it
matter
to, it's
what.
going to be high.
He should have pitched the 101 at the bottom of the strike zone.
You can't get to the bottom of Altuve strike zone.
Exactly.
Oh,
Which is why,
Listen, what you do is what
can't do a pitching fast.
You go fast.
He
You would
tried.
have hit him with a
No, he
pitch.
didn't.
Is what you would
That was a curveball.
Because-
and he sent it the wrong way.
Because he went fast. He was down 2-1.
He missed that. Well, and he missed that
What
pitch
he's supposed
and
to do
he
is
got rocked.
you go fast, make him speed up his bat, and
Shout
then
out
you
to
throw him a
Shotty
slider while he's in front of the pitch.
It was a slider. You know.
No, that was a curveball.
No, it was a hanging.
Whatever it was, he hung it and it's gone now.
It was a hanging slider at 96 miles per hour.
Man, that ball was at 89 miles per hour. That's why he was able to get it.
Shout out to Jose Altuve,
Nah, don't get me wrong.
MVP, batting champion.
Altuve earned
Soon
that.
to make $35 million a year.
Gotta
Keep it up, bro.
Altuve earned that home run.
Altuve for mayor.
Is he the greatest?
His
Astro
contract
ever?
to now he cannot be the greatest Astro ever.
Who is better?
It would have to be Bagwell, Biggio, or
Oh,
You out of your mind.
Roger Clemens by far would be the greatest Astro.
Roger Clemens
ever.
didn't win anything as
Right.
an Astro.
No.
What?
He didn't win anything as an Astro.
He didn't though.
He didn't even win an All-Star game
He
as an
won
Astro.
NLCS.
It's a team game, brother. The team is trash. This man had ERA under 2 for his entire career as an Astro and could not get 3 runs put up for him.
Man, he's not the
You're
greatest.
telling me Roger Clemens, who played 4 seasons as the Astro, is the greatest Astro ever? Yeah,
I
right.
gave you 3 names. It's either Roger Clemens,
No.
Bagwell,
It's not
or
that.
Biggio. It cannot be Jose Altuve.
Why?
Jose Altuve was also on the team when they literally lost 105 games.
And
That's
Jeff
why he's the
Bagwell was
greatest
on the
ever.
team that could not win a
He was on the team
playoff
that went to
series.
the World Series and they lost. And they
He was
lost.
not on. He was on the roster. He didn't play.
Oh my goodness, the team, the roster.
He didn't play. He didn't play that season.
Okay. Okay.
If you remember correctly, he did not play that season. He certainly did not play in the World Series.
He did play in the World Series. He pitched hit in the World Series and was highly ineffective.
I was
But
gonna say,
that's not
he's
the
the
case.
reason why we didn't make it to
He was
the
on the team. That's all I'm saying.
Jeff Bagwell is not.
You're right, Craig Biggio. Bing!
No.
Greatest
He's not even
Astro
the best second baseman.
ever.
He's no longer the best second
That's just the best
baseman.
catcher ever in Astros history.
No,
Alan Ashby would have a major issue with that, sir.
Alan Ashby is the greatest catcher.
Alan Ashby is a radio
And
voice.
Bill Sawyer said you S-ing on him too.
Man,
So you're saying it's Jose Altuve?
Yes.
The greatest Astro ever.
It got to be.
And guess who's second?
Can you check
Guess
Jose
who's second?
Altuve's longevity?
Guess who's second? Guess
in
who's
the league
second?
for the please?
Guess who's second?
This is his ninth season. Or maybe his sixth.
George Springer.
So are we not prisoners of the now? I mean, God damn.
No. We're not prisoners of the now. What we really are.
George Springer was 3 of 30 before the last 3 games of the World Series last year. He was 3 of 30 throughout the
And now-
entire
wait.
and then went like 5 of 12 at the rest of the series.
Wait.
And now has the most home
Right.
runs
Oh my God!
as Astro franchise
This
in the
man,
playoffs.
Chris
come on
Biggio was the staple of the
'Cause
team
they
for
games,
15
right?
years.
I mean,
Wait,
I mean,
slow
hold on.
down. Everybody slow
For
down.
years, there was just one playoff series.
I was even going to say, wait.
And that was the World Series.
Part of the problem is, and what D is talking
There's no
about,
wild
he's talking about,
card.
are we prisoners of the moment? No, what it really is you realize that the Astros ain't had that many great players.
No,
that
you're
we've
correct.
kept. That we've
Yeah,
kept.
right. We've always traded away. We've had Kenny Lawson traded away. We had Kurt Schillings traded away. They had Joe Morton traded away. Had
What's our boy, Rose Beltran?
Luis Gonzalez,
Carlos
Beltran. Who else?
Beltran's ready. If you're gonna
Well, exactly, but
No, he didn't start yet.
They couldn't resign
before
him.
this, that man had the best
He
playoffs.
didn't leave here.
He had one of the best playoffs of any player ever.
Yeah, every player.
They traded Joe Morgan right before he became Joe Morgan of the Big Red Machine. Then they got him back when he was the old red when he was the old Joe Morgan from the Big Red Machine.
When he was
Sounds
on
like a
red.
mistake.
He was on fumes.
But Altuve's MLB debut was in 2011. And you
So
know,
it's 8 seasons.
You know he was signed in 07 for like $10,000.
But no,
He was
the man's
undrafted.
story is truly amazing.
He was undrafted.
$15,000.
It's truly amazing. They sent this man home 3 times,
He was undrafted.
and he would not go home. And so they said, okay, fine, let's just go.
They said you couldn't play for us at 16.
Let's be real now. This man has hit for 200. This man has had 200 hits, 3 consecutive seasons.
How many times he won the batting title?
He's had 2
Three,
batting
two,
titles.
three, and
He
one
is an
MVP.
MVP. He is an MVP.
Six-time All-Star.
He's a
6-time All-Star.
World Series
Gold
champion.
Glover.
One-time AL MVP.
Silver
One-time
Slugger.
ALCS
Is he
MVP.
a Silver Slugger?
Gold Glove Award 2015. Five-time.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5-time. Booker T. Shout out. Silver Slugger Award.
I would have waited to go with this.
AL Hank Aaron
1,
Award.
2, 3, 4, 5.
3-time AL batting champion. 2-time AL stolen base leader. Go home.
All I'm
He's the
saying-
greatest Astro ever.
Of all time.
If not the greatest, one of the greatest second basemen in all of baseball
He
history.
wants me to look up Jeff Bagwell.
That's it.
Jeff Bagwell was MVP on a strike-shortened season.
Oh, so now we're qualifying everything.
No,
Man was
I'm
an
putting it- I'm putting it in
MVP.
perspective.
It's been five. Wasn't no qualifications then.
Jeff Bagwell at the time had the
Okay.
franchise record of home runs with 38. I can tell you, I can rip it off to you
Jeff
in a
Bagwell,
season.
four-time All-Star.
Ooh, 4 times. That's
6 times for Altuve.
Hurt all the time, I do.
And
But we're not. But
This is in the
now
sport.
we can't qualify.
This is in the sport where everybody has to have
But
at
we
least
can't
one
qualify.
All-Star.
Hey, if you want to put hurt all the time, that's a ding on him.
I don't understand.
1994 strike shortened season NL MVP.
So we're gonna blame him because they closed the door.
National League Rookie of the Year in 91.
This is true.
94 Gold Glove Award. I don't know how you win a Gold Glove at first base, but whatever.
What you mean? I got to pick that.
3-time Silver Slugger Award winner.
He didn't even do the
That's
split
2
thing.
less than
Hey, those
94.
days, what I'm talking about?
RBI leader in 94. Oh.
That's all the MVP season.
And then
Is that with Ken Kennedy batting behind him?
Altuve won the.
Well, Cameron didn't really hit for average for a while. Cameron
Altuve has won the batting title twice, 3 times already.
Yeah.
Jeff Bagwell did all of that to win that in one season.
He won the batting
Except
title.
for the
That's
rookie
all
of
I'm
the year.
saying, bro. You acting like you're not supposed to have a good year when you
No,
win
what
the
I'm
MVP.
saying to you is Altuve is
Hold
the
on.
greatest
Hold on,
Astro
Ravens.
of
I'm
all
sorry.
time.
Hold on, Ravens. Lamar Jackson with 117 rushes. Hold on.
I'm not 117.
117 rushing yards.
I said yard wise.
I have a complaint on
I said
behalf.
100, and Peters with a pick 6.
I was gonna say their defense though. That's their thing, man.
I wanna talk about that.
Become the best.
When we get to the NFL, we can talk about
quarterback in the
this
league.
trade that happened.
Man, we can talk about it now. So, but we can wrap up. Greatest. So, I thought there would be a consensus, but there is not. So, Kamal, you're saying yes?
Yes.
Altuve?
Yes.
D, you're saying no.
Still do something.
Because he's probably one of
Some
the
might say
greatest.
Altuve's not the best on his team.
Wait,
right
time
now.
out. You said way too soon. The man has played 8 seasons.
What weirdo would say that?
Nolan Ryan played 9.
D-Mac back and better than ever.
You said that?
This man,
You don't think Altuve is the best player on the team?
you don't think he's one of the best second basemen in the league?
He's the best second baseman in the league, hands
I
down.
think George Springer is the best player. He's the best second baseman. One of the second basemen.
Who?
The dude in Atlanta, what does he play?
What dude? Acuna.
Acuna.
He's a rookie.
He's
Jose
older than
Altuve is the best in the
Altuve's not a rookie, but
He's not.
He's not. He won Rookie of the Year.
Outfield?
He might
Isn't
be
he in the
short,
outfield?
though.
I won't say he's in the outfield, but I'm not certain. But yes, he won Rookie of the Year last year.
Oh, was it last year?
Yeah, it was Brad. It was last year.
I thought he was in.
Right.
No, he did a very good job in the playoffs.
No, the real issue is what is going on with Canelo Alvarez? Not Canelo Alvarez.
He's a rookie.
You picking the wrong time to become a rookie.
No, he's a
Acuna
rookie.
is also Venezuelan, just like Altuve.
He's a rookie, yo.
Something.
Alvarez is a rookie.
They play baseball.
He's not seeing the ball right because he's not
He's
swinging at the pitches at his hip.
Let's go!
He likes to swing at the pitches
He's really
that's in the
starting.
dirt.
He's really starting to look confused. I'm looking at him now.
Now he's starting to look
Yeah, now he's starting to look
It's like
confused.
1 of 30, bro.
Alvarez.
It's literally like 1 for
But they
30.
say-
Well, first off,
They were saying on the telecast, playoff pitching
Oh, give me that
is
mother.
so much different.
It's
What
all
is
good. Every pitch
What it is,
Than
what it
fall,
is.
than season.
Good.
What it is,
season
and at the
pitching.
risk of sounding like a very racist old man,
But he's about to sound like a
those
racist,
people
man.
swing at anything,
Those-
and we know that.
What do you mean by those people?
Those 6'7"
My Caribbean Hispanics. That's what I can tell you. That's why Venezuela is moved past the
We just
Dominican
spoke about
Republic.
the Venezuelan who won, who
Yeah.
y'all say is the greatest.
That's
athlete
South
ever
America.
played
That's why
of all time.
So is Acuna. That's why Venezuela has moved past the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico as the best country producing baseball players right now.
Yeah, because they don't.
We all know, Sammy, look man, just go back. Okay?
Seems like the title of the regime, the better the baseball.
My Caribbean land here, right?
I mean, it's like that for Cuba.
Hong Kong better just get
Hey,
rid
better get rid of it, right? Hey.
So should Taiwan.
But they gotta be set 6-7 feet, man, over there, and that's the problem.
But see, this
They
is
make them small.
Whoa, Chicago just got an onside kick.
Because Dummy went to go get the ball when it wasn't even taken.
Yeah,
off.
I think it's consequential.
So
But no,
they didn't get it then.
Jordan Alvarez looks terrible.
Terrible. I mean, he looks over.
He is swinging
Man.
and stuff. It's just like, what
That's
are you doing?
rolling.
But every time you get
You
that,
can
don't
roll
think-
it, you can bowl it underhand.
Oh no, they did.
That was Michael Thomas, Dummy.
You don't think that every time you see him though, I'm like, okay, he looks severely overmatched. But if they could just make this one mistake and he can time it right, it's gonna be spectacular.
That's the same thing with me.
And then it's a strikeout.
You make a mistake, pitch one at 60.
70 at my belt.
You know, I
Don't
don't
look right down the middle, 60 at my chest.
You know, I swear, ever since we had that conversation about, y'all talking about, they say the hardest thing to do is to hit a baseball.
It is.
It is.
I was like, man, it cannot be that difficult. I swear to God, I've been wanting
You
to
swung
challenge
a
you
bat at
all.
a baseball.
You've done softball.
I've been wanting to challenge you all.
You ever seen Boy
to a
George
fast
inside?
pitch.
Struck it out of softball. The ball is humongous. It's coming
I ain't never struck out in softball.
You haven't.
You-
But I've
you
been in
forget-
softball players be like, ooh, that black dude ain't never played baseball.
You forget what
It be
softball
my
team
people,
I used
too.
to play for.
It be my people too.
Yeah. The only
I know, I used to go out there with y'all.
The only excuse is
Ain't
that
no
that
excuse.
most softball teams
These dudes and choked up. You like choke up on the bat, huh?
Yeah, I was like, oh,
I
man,
played
what you talking
football
about?
and basketball only.
Man,
Those are guys like that, man. You go out.
I played it out. It was cold and everything.
But then in
except
places
for
they
heat
give you-
in baseball.
$4 pitchers of beer, come on, remember that?
Yeah.
You know.
In a milk jug.
So I've been challenging.
Errors in the softball.
So I said I was gonna lay a challenge out to you all,
Challenge.
and we go to the fast pitch.
Ain't nobody-
Yeah,
Hey, I
let's
would
go.
rock that. I would kill y'all.
No,
Let's go to the batting cage.
you didn't even follow through your swing.
Are you talking about when I was 8 years old? You also would not bend down to get a grounder.
First off,
We
that's
have
not
grown,
true.
my
That's
friend.
not true at all.
We have grown.
You know, my last year
Was that
in
not
baseball,
his issue? That man would never bend all the way down. What's the catch? I mean, the third baseman. E7, E6, whatever he is. Just E9 all the time. No, 9 was the
First
outfield,
off,
right?
third baseman is 3. See, I don't even know. I mean, no, it's not.
It can't be 3.
It's
First
4.
base is 3.
No.
Then you got second base. You got 1, 2. Then you
The
got
pitcher's 1, the catcher's 2, the
Third, first
baseman
base,
is
second
3,
base,
second is 4,
then third
is 5.
5.
so it's
E5. E5, but he hits a home run. He thinks that makes up for it. No, you still made an error, son.
Dad, call in. My dad actually knows how to score. Baseball.
My nigga
No,
told
I'm
me
telling you,
that.
they say the pitcher's 1,
Yeah,
catcher's
just
2,
skip
Those are some old folks.
Shortstop.
first baseman
old
is 3.
school. That's
Very
the
old.
classic.
You literally have.
That's why when you do double play, you have
score
6. You have 6, 4, 3
6, 4,
double
3, yeah,
plays.
6, 4, 3,
Yeah.
yeah.
They have an app for that.
Pitchers 1, catchers 2, first baseman's 3, second baseman's 4, third
Skip
baseman's
this
5.
shortstop. Shortstop is trash, man.
Left field is
7.
7. Yeah.
Center
It
field
just
is
let you know that
8.
Wikipedia agrees with us.
Alright, so.
Yeah, what are we talking about today, man?
I'm just trying to say y'all.
Tuesday, 7:30, Astro.
No, 708.
Okay.
Okay.
708 Astros.
World Series.
Astros,
Is it Strasburg? I don't want to say that because not knowing, but I don't know.
It's Cole Strasburg.
So Cole Strasburg, that could be epic, people.
It's gonna be a 3-2 game.
Truly be.
It's gonna be
3-2, you think?
It's gonna be 17.
I'm
2-1.
taking the under.
It's gonna be 17.
2-1 Astros.
It's gonna be 17-3 Astros.
2 solo home runs.
17-3,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, my
Okay, I'm with you, man. 17-3.
Y'all think
I mean,
Strasburg
Strasburg
ain't
is.
that good?
Oh, boy, you better stop. Listen, I don't know what it is.
You just not like the next.
When you don't like people, you just sit up there and just
You don't like the whole
you
team,
just
bro.
slander their
Definitely
ability
don't,
because you don't like them.
Definitely
Strasburg is an outstanding pitcher.
Since when?
Has
Oh,
been,
my
but
God.
this year, look at him this year. He has been literally great this
Since when
entire career.
Strasburg? Okay,
But this
what's
year has been
outstanding?
exceptional.
No. What is your outstanding? Because outstanding to me is Cy Young. He ain't never won one of them.
To be fair,
One
yeah.
should have won, probably.
One person
To be fair, one season he was sat down after a certain amount of
He should
games.
certify.
Is that
The
my fault?
following season,
Is that my fault?
he had to
Is it
get Tommy John.
It ain't his fault either. It ain't your fault. It ain't his fault.
that
It's
my
the
fault? Is
team's
that his
fault.
The following
Unless
season,
they win
he
the
had to
ship,
get
then
Tommy
nobody
John
fault. That was the
surgery.
excellent call.
Then the year after that, he pitched
They
very
won the chip.
well.
That's Bryce Harper's fault.
Oh my
No, it's an excellent call to have Strasburg still available for you, which he might not have been if you let him go out
Okay, so
there and hits 100.
He goes out there. Tell me something.
And he might have done the Cy Young this year.
When
He
it
might
comes
win the
up,
Cy Young this year. Definitely.
when it comes up, when it actually happens, if he lasts 2 1/3,
He's going to last 2 1/3. He's better than what you giving him.
Brad Peacock lasted 2.
but Peacock is not our ace.
Bro.
That's what we telling you.
Jimmy.
Strasburg is better than that. He gonna last 2 1/3.
Okay,
5.
that's what,
Even if you put
Hey.
up 7.
that's what they said about.
Because at that point in time, you don't want to go into the bullpen. Let him ride for 5 or 6 and come back and play tomorrow.
Okay.
Astros let Paxton look like he was a Cy Young.
Oh, Mitchell.
I mean, he was good in Seattle.
Listen, Strasburg can play.
Jackson used to tell
Tell
something.
me, what's Strasburg ERA this year? It's 2 something. What's his record?
I seen him in the playoffs.
Right.
I seen him shut down the last 2 people he pitched against.
Dominant.
Who, the Cardinals?
Who's the Cardinals? The Cardinals.
Metal Cardinal.
Literally
Metal
the
Cardinal.
Patriots of baseball. They are literally
Oh
the
my God,
Patriots of
the
baseball.
oldest Cardinal.
Carpenter.
and
Carpenter.
trashed.
Who
All
else?
right, Steven Strasburg. ERA is 3.32.
That's not bad.
How many
What
wins?
is that?
18-6.
18 and 6.
251 strikeouts.
251 strikeouts.
Look up any our first 3.
In
How
the
many-
Grinky has been.
First off, Strasburg has a better record than Greinke. He has a
And
better
better.
ERA than Greinke.
That's
And he
right.
probably has more strikeouts than Greinke.
That's
His
right.
postseason ERA is 1.64.
That
And
means
Cole's
first
gonna
time,
kick
they
him
got
in the
serious.
Cole's gonna win the
Well,
Cy Young in that
they
year.
never made it past anything until this year.
I'm talking about this year. When it got real, he came on with it.
Well,
Last year, he pitched way
What
up
other
the
year matters if it's this year though? They made it past them this year. It's this year that we're talking about. Why does it even matter? what
Because they
didn't
don't even
do
care about
I can
it.
tell you this
year?
much.
Because their bats went hella high.
Strasburg is definitely pitching better than Verlander
Rick
is.
Doan has played better than anybody
No.
else. ever played for them.
I don't believe that either.
Strasburg is not pitching better than Verlander is?
Because he doesn't face the
He
same
definitely
opposition.
is.
He doesn't face the same opposition.
Man, listen.
So you're saying the Cardinals
He beat the
is just
Dodgers
as
too,
good?
right?
They're just as good as the Yankees?
He beat the
Or
best
the
team.
Tampa Bay?
He beat the best team in his league, which was the Los Angeles Dodgers. He beat them. He beat.
They came back to beat them.
That's
That was up. You weren't saying that when they
The
were
way he pitched, they didn't have to come back.
I know, but y'all weren't saying that the first time he pitched.
But
The
he won.
day he pitched, they didn't have to come back.
They tell him thank Kershaw. Whatever you tell him. Either way, he won the game. They won the series. Against the best team, put up over 100 wins in the NL.
All right, well, Garrett Cole does have better stats.
Yeah.
We're not comparing him to Garrett Cole.
Why we not?
Because Garrett Cole
Because Garrett Cole is the best.
NL.
Yes, is the best player
So
in
you're
the
comparing
league.
that you're saying to us
26
that he is the best pitcher in the NL. That's what you're saying, right?
We didn't say we didn't say Strasburg is the best pitcher in the league. I'm saying he's not as trash as you say he is. You're saying he's
I
trash.
agree with you. He is the best pitcher in the NL. Cole's the best pitcher in the
I
AL.
don't think he's the
compare
best pitcher
them.
in the NL.
Well, then,
Who's the best pitcher in the NL?
I don't think no NL, but I don't think he is. Not what Kershaw did this year.
He doesn't think he is.
Yes, and Kershaw's the one who lost the
Oh,
series.
look at Kershaw. He
Literally lost the series.
I mean, that's fine. He lost the series, the World Series last year. Oh wow! I mean, 2 years ago.
That's a trend.
Oh
I don't want
wow!
to bring up what happened back past.
That's where Strasburg was.
That is
Neither to now.
Strasburg was at Tommy John 9 times.
Oh, so
He good now.
I'm sure with the robotic
He back
arm,
now, ninja.
robotic arm, you better know how to pitch indoors. Because
Well, good thing for us, we never open the roof. So he's gonna have to pitch indoors, right? We'll see. At least another game won't be canceled, and they won't play 5 days in a row, which is truly outrageous.
They prayed for rain. They
Like,
prayed
oh my
for rain.
goodness, we can't give these boys one off day.
no, because and then not only did they pray for rain, they got the rain,
Got the rain,
And then
start early,
and then start messing with the start times.
bro.
Oh, let's go at 4.
These boys got in
Oh, let's go at
2 o'clock
6.
and played at 7 p.m.
They
or
did
6
that. See, I
o'clock.
missed all that.
Yeah.
Got in at 2
I remember
o'clock.
that.
Played in after they lost
Sorry, Joe
in
Buck.
New York. They got
Sorry,
in
Joe
2
Buck was laminating how.
Yeah, he was mad. He was basically
Like,
complaining
how? He was like,
how he had no
Well,
sleep.
we
Suck it up,
the
Joe.
Yankees started this game an hour earlier than usual, trying to catch Cole. And Cole don't care. It's Cole world.
Cold world, baby. And okay, since we're on this really quickly,
Cole, the crazy part is Cole may not win the Cy Young.
bro,
Over who?
5 years,
Over Verlander.
225.
I'm saying.
Would you do that?
What?
For Garrett Cole?
Garrett Cole, that's what
Who we let go?
that's what his initial Boris offer is.
Who we let go?
That's the thing, because
You
Correa's
can
on arbitration.
you can let
Correa's gonna
Marisnik
get
go.
a raise.
You can let Marisnik go. You can
Yeah,
let-
but Mercer makes nothing.
You can
Reddick is
what's
gonna
my
give you
man?
some
What's his
change.
name? What's his
Reddick.
name?
He's
You can
gonna
let
give you
Reddick
some
go.
change, letting him
I don't
go.
know. Ready to hit a home run.
Well,
You
I
can
mean,
let
he's
him
just
go
picking
for
on
Garrett
he's
Cole.
good against the Yankees. That's
You
it.
can let him go for Garrett Cole.
But listen though, you still have to pay Altuve. He's kicking in his highest paid player bonus. You have Springer, who is coming up, and who I think is the best player on the team. You've got Correa, who feels like he deserves money.
I mean, he's won.
We're going to say he won't. So then they're going to go to arbitration. Arbitration will give him a raise. Probably won't be what he wants, but it'll be something. So then you have to pay him. You've got Verlander on the books. You've got Greinke on the books already guaranteed. So you've got to pay them. You've got to either pay a Curdy or a Miley to become your third starter, especially if they actually show any kind of thing there.
Or James Jones.
So you got James Jones, promote him,
what is
whatever
it?
his name is, Brothers Cole.
He
You're
got
in a
20
Dallas Cowboys situation right now, and luckily for the Astros, at least they're in the World Series.
I know, right?
The Cowboys will not make the Super Bowl. They change. Anyway, so I don't know if we pay him, bro. I don't know if we can afford to pay him
Garrett
by
Cole?
far Garrett Cole as the coldest player on the team.
let him
I don't know if we can afford to pay him $30 million a year for 5 years and 30 years old.
Let him win the World
They
Series.
they will not pay him, but they should.
They shouldn't.
Who's gonna pay him?
I disagree. I don't think they
Who's gonna
should.
pay him?
Everybody else
The
knows
Rangers.
who's not going to win. The Rangers. They saying the Angels will pay him.
How are they?
They say Miami will pay him.
No, how are
like,
the Rangers?
They're
I mean,
gonna go to sucky team,
so
but
how are the Angels ready to pay?
because the Angels had Pujols coming off the books,
When? They just gave him an extension.
but they didn't give him the $225, $30 million a year extension that he's been on from the Cardinals. He was on a $200 million contract, right?
He was still on that contract.
Yeah, but the extension ain't gonna. I guarantee the extension ain't gonna pay them.
And they just gave Trout.
Mike Trout is the greatest baseball player going right now.
Okay, now see that one I'm like,
Hey man.
he is by far the most
He's the best
celebrated loser I ever seen in my life.
He's the best war reporter.
He is the most he is the most celebrated loser I ever seen in my
I
life.
just paid your boy Ohtani.
They just get another onside kick.
Boy, hey.
This has to be a replay. That's a second onside kick, my man.
The Saints.
Oh my goodness, what are you doing?
He has no idea.
And then I was gonna say he stopped. He kept running like he had no idea. He just like hit the ball.
He's like, oh, the ball's kicked. Oh,
They're still down 11.
The great ball is like they still down 2 scores.
If only we could have been within 2 touchdowns.
I
Maybe
don't know,
we'd have
'cause
been.
I don't know what we doing today, but you listening to the Garage Apartment?
Oh yeah, we were running.
We're here each and every Sunday night from 6 to 7 Central
still on that
Standard
high
Time.
from yesterday.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our website, thegarageapt.com. You can hit us up live at 713-489-0688. We got some amazing stuff on the website. We got some boxing stuff coming up real soon. We got some boxing stuff.
And you know how we do boxing now.
It's coming up real soon.
Box
We
down.
also still putting
Rest in peace to,
speaking of boxing, right?
Burrow.
Patrick Day.
Patrick
Oh.
Day. Rest in peace to Patrick Day. And Elijah Collins. That's awful.
Man, Elijah Thomas.
He said the two together. I'm like, it's number 2.
It's off the cuff. But
It's like Patrick Day and Elijah Cummings. It's like,
hey, I'm just saying though.
Although
Hey,
the
he
pass was in the
My man
way.
won't be able to see his Maryland team in the World Series.
but what about the Angels that were flying with Earl Spence Jr.?
Man,
Look at that
he
Twitter.
rolled over 1,900 times.
And then tweeted, "Ain't no broken bones."
I'm a savage. No broken bones. I'm a savage. Mind you, was not in a seatbelt. Was thrown from the car.
Was clearly drunk or wouldn't
They
have
said
been
intoxicated, and he's currently charging a DWI.
In Dallas?
Yes, of course.
Clearly
At
drunk.
least he wasn't shot.
Oh man.
By the police.
You know what? I kid you not. The whole time I was in Dallas, because there were quite a few officers. We passed by quite a few officers at the State Fair, and I was saying,
Just keep your hands up.
Yeah, I was like,
I mean, that doesn't matter.
I got my orange safety wallet in my hand.
Now, to be fair, they were all black. The officers that I saw.
What that mean?
I don't know. I played a limo couple of little black officers.
I'm sorry.
Black
My
ones
bad, I
don't
misspoke.
necessarily do the shooting. They just don't.
That was in Houston.
They
I'm
just
sorry.
don't come up. You know what I'm saying?
Houston black cops shoot everybody.
Oh my God.
So,
Are we doing? Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready for Hong Kong.
Are we already there?
Man, that's what I said.
Get here, bro.
Look here, I don't know what.
Oh well, okay. Quick NFL news.
Real
Patrick
quick.
Peterson Patrick.
Patrick Mahomes.
No,
Oh.
Peters got traded. The
Marcus
quarterback
Peters
Marcus
got traded.
Tra-
Jalen Ramsey
got traded
also.
to. Okay, so Peters gets traded to the Ravens,
Check out his interview before he got traded. It is spectacular.
and then Jalen Ramsey gets traded
Check out his interview after he got
The
traded.
Rams.
It is also spectacular.
to the
He's at the
Ravens.
post press
And
conference.
these boys, the defenses have bolstered. I got both of them on my fantasy squad.
Why do you have cornerback? Oh, you mean those defenses?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, why
They
do you
put
have
up some
cornerbacks
points
on the
today.
fantasy squad?
But that was very
Speaking of
surprising.
fantasy squad, I'm looking all right.
That was very surprising. Hey, I'm two.
Shout out to Houston West
Two
Side.
years in. 2
I
years
don't feel too confident though, cause Jimmy Garoppolo was playing in literally a monsoon. Didn't know that. Started him anyway. Gave me nothing. I'm not gonna say he literally didn't give me nothing, but he basically gave me nothing.
But to now transition onto the continuum. of the NBA versus China.
Yes, sir.
Since y'all want to get the
Break it down for me. Yeah.
I'm the one started this now.
It's uh-oh in there, man. It's two uh-oh in there that are necessary.
All right, it's taken from me. I know best. Sponsored by
Cozy Cakes. Festive sweets for all occasions that will leave you warm and cozy inside. That is Cozy Cakes. Go to CozyCakes.net.
We're not talking about the cozy. We're just talking about cozy.
So this is a continuation on last week's Take It From Me. Just a little brief history on Hong Kong. Last week's was on Hong Kong and the NBA and China, how they were all coming together for some very interesting news, let's say. So just a real quick brief history. Hong Kong was a part of the British colonies up until, it says, about 1997. In 1997, Hong Kong was returned to Chinese rule, but upon that return, it was forced to adopt Hong Kong Basic Law.
Right.
So that is key, because Basic Law is basically saying that it's somewhat of a democracy. It does not have to abide by China's communist rules. The exact thing says, states that Hong Kong Special Administrative Region shall enact laws on its own to prohibit any act of treason, secession, sedition, and subversion against the central people's government or theft against the state. So basically what it's saying is that if there's any crime against China, and you're a Hong Kong citizen, Hong Kong will take care of that. That's important because China takes care of it. You end up according to the news reports, end up in some sort of a concentration camp, for lack of a better term.
Well, one thing about China is that 99% of the people who are accused of crimes are convicted.
Or 99%, which is tells you a lot for what it is now.
Great prosecutors over there.
Great, or Pittsburgh defenders, however you look at it. So ultimately, the uproar began when China chose to enact an extradition law, basically saying that if you committed a crime in Hong Kong, you would be extradited to mainland China and thus be subjected to the mainland China's laws, no longer Hong Kong laws, which is basically a way to get around the fact that you can't prosecute the Hong Kong people. So the young people did not like that and have been protesting for several months now. Not exactly sure. So during this protest, it started off pretty tame. Then it got a little outrageous on the protesters' position, in which case they started vandalizing property, sitting in on the airport, things like that. Because of that, the police have now gotten a tad bit, how shall I say, heavy-handed.
A little more aggressive.
And are hurting people, killing people, accidentally killed somebody with a rubber bullet. It's a rubber bullet, which lets you know the differences where we're living and everything. But it's a rubber bullet, accidentally killed some. The people truly went crazy at that point in time. And the protests have been going crazy ever since. So that's what Daryl Morey, the Houston Rockets GM, was tweeting about, was the escalation in which the police were violating basic civil rights of the Hong Kong people. Because of that, as we were talking about last week, China did not like that. China sent some word out to the NBA, I'm sure. NBA said, we didn't like that. Then they thought twice about the situation and came back and said, we don't like that, but it's cool. Tillman Fertitta, on the other hand, came out swiftly and was like, nope, Daryl Morey speaks for himself. It does not have nothing to do with the Houston Rockets, blah, 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 blah. So, that's just a brief history on it. My point is the fact that I feel that it is a very it is an interesting, how should I say, the way that all these three organizations, countries, however, entities, we'll say, are coming together is very interesting. For the simple fact that the NBA cannot back down against free speech. The NBA has prided himself on being about free speech, letting people talk, no matter what the situation is. They're usually pretty open about it.
They can do that for Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
I say, okay, excuse me, Adam Silver's regime of the NBA has usually been pretty progressive about free speech, letting things ride. Now to be able to come down on Daryl Morey for a political stance that hurts you economically would not look good. So thus they can't do that. China cannot back down because Hong Kong is Hong Kong, and as we stated before, it's a Chinese entity. They want the whole thing to be under there, but they abide by law technically, but if I'm not mistaken, it's like a treaty, so they could just simply break the treaty if they want to. And then you have Hong Kong, who is simply just in the middle of it, a booming enterprise, a economic conglomerate, and then you have the Rockets sitting there in the middle, who literally were on the forefront of the Chinese money in the NBA. That's what's amazing to me, is that because of Yao Ming, they were literally they are the most popular NBA franchise in China. China has better ratings for NBA games, Rockets especially, than all of the United States. United States has the money, but China literally watches more households, because there's a billion of them.
They say
watches more basketball games than anybody in the United States.
They say about 800 million people watch the NBA in China.
So what are the people in China saying? Like, we've heard
The people in China are upset as well.
Man, they were burning.
That's the problem. They're burning jerseys. They have
People in Hong Kong were burning.
people in Hong Kong
People
were
in
burning
China were
LeBron's
burning.
jerseys. People in China were burning Rockets jerseys.
Yeah, because of Daryl.
Because of Daryl Morey. People in China have now the option to no longer have the Rockets as their favorite team on their government-issued cable services. So instead of getting all of the Rockets games, you can change that to in this case, the Lakers, so that you can root for LeBron. So it's just truly amazing to me how they all have divergent paths in which they want to go, in which they kind of have to go. And so to see how it all winds up, to see how it ends, I'm kind of interested, because I don't see a way for anybody to capitulate and just say, yes, they were right. In which case it either has to just kind of blow away and get a little quiet after a while, or something has to change. But they pulled money from the Rockets, they pulled money from the NBA, they pulled games from the NBA, so something is going to have to give, and it's just going to be truly amazing to watch in the next coming weeks to see what that is.
It's funny though, I saw on Beat the Press today that it's not only the NBA that is in this.
Yes, this problem.
You got Westinghouse, you have GM. There are currently 9,000 more GM workers in China than there are in America.
The Chinese love Buicks, in case you didn't know.
Wrap it up, B!
Buick is the most popular luxury car in China, in case you didn't know.
So there's going to be a mix. You're going to have to make a decision. You're going to go to China where there's a billion people, or you're going to stand up for civil rights and blah, 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 blah. And we know exactly what's going to be chosen.
The money's going to win.
As usual. Yeah. They have I know best.
You're listening to the Rise Department. We're here each and every Sunday night from 6 to 7 Central Standard Time. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our website, thegarageapt.com.
APT.com.
Shout out to everybody listening to us on 92 KELZ. Everybody who watches on Facebook Live, everyone on YouTube. We appreciate you. Man, y'all have a wonderful week. Y'all stay blessed. If you can't be blessed, then be good. If you can't be good, then be good at it. We'll holler at y'all, man. Go Stros. Go Stros.
Go Stros.
Go Pack Go.
Go, Pack, go.
Yeah, cut them off. Thank you. Cut that mic off.
Go.
Go, Pack, go. Yeah. That boy,
Aaron Rodgers up
A-Rod.
to MVP. Sure.
That boy A-Rod finally
A-Rod
looked
is
like
trash
A-Rod.
can.
Oh my God.
He's
He
carrying.
finally threw it to